on your right.
Yeah.
Two quick questions. One is, do you guys stay in contact? And the second is, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a musician, right? And do you keep up with that? Do you continue to play guitar? Because I know you played a guitar on one of the episodes.
Yes, we keep in touch. I was a fake guitar player, just to set the record straight. So I'm a piano player and a singer, predominantly. I can play the guitar a little bit. He's also an excellent musician and gave me grief. Well, you sure gave me grief about all my music stuff all the time. Constant. You gonna sing it like that? But yeah, I keep up with music all the time, and I try to get out and sing as much as I can. And I wish I had more time to play the piano. Can't do everything. Oh, there.
Hello, over here.
Hello.
First, I would love to say thank you. This was a TV show that I grew up watching with my father, and it was a real bonding time for us both, and it was absolutely wonderful. I do have a question, however, for Mr. Stockwell, because being a child of the 80s as I am, I loved Al's outfits. In fact, my young nephew came to my bat mitzvah, and I showed him off to everyone because he was dressed like Al. And I want to know, did you get to keep any of those, or were you inclined to, or did you really wish they were burned?
It comes down to the latter. Even though I like them a lot, I'd love to steal a wardrobe. I love it. And most everything I have in my closet is from a show or another I've stolen. But I didn't take anything. Now, in retrospect, I wish I'd taken that silver jacket. That was really shit. But the rest of it was so outlandish I would never be able to wear it. And that whole deal was Don Belsar's idea, and he hired, I believe it was Dorian.
Jean-Pierre Dorian.
Jean-Pierre Dorian, just to do Al's costumes, one character's costumes, which is very unusual. And you all know the result.
Well, they were wonderful, and my father dressed to emulate him.
And you still watched with him, I'm amazed. Was he dressed to watch the show when he dressed up like Al? Or?
Just about. Yeah.
Hey guys, I had a question about the character arc of your two characters. I was wondering if I could get a statement from you on each of them. It would seem to me that because of the nature of the show, the Sam character, since he kind of got reset at the beginning of each episode due to his Swiss cheese memory, he didn't seem to have the arc that the Al character had, who seemed to, from the beginning of the show to the end of the run, had extreme change in the way he perceived everything, and even some of his biases and prejudices on everything. And I was wondering, if we look at it that way, was the show Quantum Leap less about saving Sam, but saving Al, because he was the dynamic character?
It's interesting. It's an interesting question. I never thought about that. I thought it was about saving people each episode. You didn't get brought to a truthful moment by him.
Yeah, but you guided me through a lot of the truth, to get through a lot of moments, because my
But I had the information.
No, but you influence me. You tell me a story about your sister. You tell me stuff like that. Come on. You had a lot of stuff. He's a much better actor than I am, so his art, I had an art, but I just couldn't act it. I had to invent my own art, which is not easy.
I stay away from arts when they tend to sing. Next question.
thank you guys for teaching me how to play pool. And then I wanted to ask if you guys have played with the Ziggy app on the iPhone. Because they have an app and it makes all the noise when you hit it and stuff.
Well,
No,
play with what?
See, there's an app on the iPhone that makes all the ziggy noises when you hit it.
Ziggy?
It's an application
Oh,
so
there
that
is.
it's hitting. No, I haven't. Obviously, we haven't.
So somebody take an iPhone over and show them that. Thank you.
Crazy. Okay. Thanks. I'll check it out. Will you get an iPhone so I can check that out?
My wife does that. Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you very much for this show. You did a wonderful job on the Quantum League program. Really enjoyed it many years. Two things I just want to ask you. One, if Quantum League was still in the air, how would you like it to continue? And two, Dean, how did you enjoy playing the evil Dean in the episode, the evil Al, the devil?
Oh, I love that one. That was a fun one, yeah. Wasn't that Halloween? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Stephen King.
Nice departure there. What was the other question?
Well, this kind of goes back to my arcing question I didn't really answer, but I had it in my mind that the more Sam leaped, that as we went on, the more that he was starting to, you know, I'm a sci-fi geek, so you have to bear with me for a second. I figured that the more he started mixing molecules, that eventually he would start taking on some of the more characteristics and personality traits of the bodies, the folks that he was switching around with. So I was heading toward, you know, schizophrenia, basically. And I thought that would be an interesting place for the show to go. So that there would be come a time when they would have to literally potentially lose Sam, because he would just keep disappearing more and more into each character. So that was my own little story, and but it was working for me. So we were doing Oswald and some things like that. If you look back at the last year, especially, you'll see that I was taking on more and more of those kinds of things. So that's where I was going, but I don't know where Don would have kept it going. I mean, the show was, the beauty of the show was it had endless possibilities. They wanted to do an animated episode. They wanted to be in a crib. They had all these great ideas of doing more and more stuff. And obviously, the more as technology got better, I laughed so much at how much things have changed. But I mean, we literally would, you know, the first AD would yell freeze, and everybody would. And then he would walk in, take a puff, and then the guy would say, unfreeze, and then we'd go back to the scene. Now, nobody has to do that anymore, but when I think about it, it was so lame. So if you go back and look at the first year, you'll see background in the background. I mean, it was, and you'd have a street full of people, and they'd say, freeze! And thank goodness things have changed and technology is better and you can run vampires around and fly them out in a heartbeat like that. So the technology would have changed, would have been really cool like that.
Right here.
Right here.
Oh, go.
Hey, like everybody else, I want to say thank you guys for doing the work you did. You were heroes to me at a time in my life when I really needed some. And my question is, I read not long ago a take on the last episode that because Sam changed Al's life to make sure that he stayed with Beth, that he was actually sacrificing his relationship because he could have changed everything and Al may never have gotten on the project. I just wondered if you guys thought that was a good take on it. Was that the intention or no?
I had, you know, you think about all the implications of that last episode there, and they're kind of fun to explore. If if we come back, what would the next episode have been, you know, and those kind of things. I think that it's a kind of a beautiful idea that Sam sacrificed himself for his best friend, you know, and I'm sure Don would have found a way to bring a lot of that and get us back on the trail again. But it being the last episode of our journey on the show, I think it's poetic and